Good morning, America. I'm your host, Talia Chavis, and you're watching Dev 12 News. Today, we are taking you all the way to the Great Orient, specifically China. Now, we all know that this is one of the largest countries in the world today, and in fact, it is one of the most industrialized countries in the world. And where there is industrialization, there is indeed pollution. But what will happen if all that pollution affected your brain? We now take you to our reporter, Madeline Guerra, who is on the scene trying to get the people's opinion. Madeline?
Recently, scientists have realized that air pollution can keep our cognitive abilities from doing the proper things that it should do, and as the population ages, it will only become worse for an individual. Many tests have been performed here in China that also found that pollution will impede verbal tests. Other than these two things, due to an aging population, the economy will be negatively affected because the more people that are sick who cannot be efficient workers, the less people there are to hire in the workforce. Now, I am here with Evann Blalock, a citizen who represents the minority of younger workers. Evan, how do you feel about all the research being done on this rising concern?
Well, honestly, now it's not so bad. I mean, I'm not really affected as much as others are since I am, of course, younger. Living in an urban city with so many things in the air, such as ash, soot, smoke, dust, and the byproducts of coal burning, oil burning, paper manufacturing, and metal smelting, my parents are severely affected by this pollution.
Now, when you say affected, what exactly do you mean?
My mom has had to go to the hospital multiple times for heart dysfunction, and my father has also had headaches every single day since he was 30, and is now showing signs of a new respiratory problem. So you can see how living here can be quite intimidating, especially for people in my age group.
Wow, Evan, I am very sorry for your family's misfortunes.
Thank you, Madeline.
But can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Great. Now, before I came here, I wanted to read up on some of your country's legislation. I did find a couple of things, but some were not so clear, and I wanted to clear it up for both myself and everyone else out there watching this, since earlier you did mention that you were studying to become a lawyer in the environmental field. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. So what did you need clarification on?
Well, I was reading and came across something called the Law on Prevention and Control of Air Pollution, otherwise known as the Air Law. But nothing else is mentioned. Can you clarify?
Of course. So this law is a primary law dealing with air pollution, and it provides comprehensive measures of an air pollution prevention and control.
Can you give us some history about it, Evan?
Sure, Madeline. Basically, the air law was first adopted in 1987 and has been revised several times since then, including a major revision in 2015 that took effect on January 1st, 2016. The revised air law sets a specific goal of improving air quality and emphasizes the control of air pollution caused by coal burning, industrial production, motor vehicles and vessels, dust, and agricultural activities. It calls for comprehensive measures to be taken to restrict atmospheric pollutants and greenhouse gases, including particulate matter, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, volatile organic compounds, and ammonia.
This is all amazing information, Evan, because I did read and found something called the Environmental Protection Law. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this law provides the framework and basis of all environmental protection and pollution control in the country, and it was first drawn up in 1979 on a trial basis. Then it was formally promulgated on December 26, 1989. It was recently revised in 2014. Is that right?
It sure is. So what is your next question?
Which legislation do you think is most effective?
Well, there is one more that I think will work the most in the future. It's called the Ambient Air Quality Standards GB 3095-2012. The currently effective ones were released on February 29, 2012. These standards set mandatory limits for primary pollutants that include sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, PM10, and PM2.5. This took effect throughout the country on January 1st, 2016. And there are two classes. Class 1 applies standards for regions for protection of natural area, and Class 2 applies standards to residential, industrial, and rural areas.
Thank you so much for clearing it up for everyone, Evan.
You're welcome.
And I'm sorry, but one last thing. Given everything that you know, how do you think this problem can be solved? What are some possible solutions?
Personally, I believe that we can do multiple things to help solve, but mainly reduce production of steel and coal-fired electricity, use more wind and solar energy, and we should definitely require higher quality gasoline for diesel vehicles.
Wow, this has been very informative and certainly a pleasure. Thank you so much, Evan, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Madeline. You too.
And there you have it, folks. Obviously, we should keep our eye on this problem, and apparently even our brain isn't safe. Talia, back to you.
Well, this was certainly eye-opening. Who knew that the brain was at such high risk for air pollution, so much to cause all those illnesses? However, up next, a man claims he can breathe underwater. Is he lying, or we just discover a very special human ability? I'll see you shortly after this break.